everyone, it's Rambling Hour with Lisa, season 18, episode 10, out here in the garden. Where am I? I am sitting next to the greenhouse, and down there you can see my pot in the middle that's like an ode to my brother. And then over here, where there's more flowers, but where I'm sitting, and there's a path there, and more flowers, but where I'm sitting, I tried to get a view where you could see behind me, you can see the banana and some of the flowers in the background. And also I tried to catch the sun. You can see the sun on the trees by the train tracks back there, but yeah, the sun's kind of past my yard / garden, unless out in the front. There's still some sun at this time, seeing it's 8 p.m. It's still light out. It's just that the house shades the sun now from the west. So how are you guys? What's up with you? What's new? How's your week been? I haven't done my workout yet today, but I want to just say today is day 21, which means it'll be 3 weeks since I started working out. Again, I don't know if you're seeing much change. Well, in the arms, that looks pretty good. Like, I'm not where I was before. I can still see that I got a lot to go, but you know what? I'm doing it. So the thing is that we all want, when we start this journey again and again and again, we want the results right away. We want to see things like moving in the right direction, but we want like, oh, okay, I've been eating healthy. I've been working out for 3 weeks. I should have the beach body already, but that's not how it is. It didn't take just, 3 weeks to get this nice belly that I put on. It took 1.5 years. So it's going to take at least that to get back to where I want to be. So I just have to be patient. But like I said, from day one, as soon as you do something physical, something is changing in your body. Even your body realizing that something's changing. So you're burning off calories, like I said, building muscles, and just, yeah, I said this before, with some of the things that I'm doing, I realized that my strength is better than it was the last time I started working out again. So even doing push-ups, even though I have like my hand that is almost completely healed like this, when I'm doing push-ups, at first when I was doing push-ups, I was doing it kind of like a plank on my arms, like this. And then as this healed, I started doing it like on my knuckles, and just still doing the arms and stuff, the push-ups. But now I can do one set with my hands down beside me like this, and then the other set I do with this hand flat and this hand still like this, because it's still healing a bit. But and I'm on my knees for my push-ups, but I could probably be on my toes. I'm just taking it easy, taking it slow. That's the other thing, especially with yoga and stuff like that. Don't push yourself. Don't push too hard. Don't go too fast, like too hard too fast, because you don't want to strain your muscles. You don't want to pull muscles, and then you're no use for anything. Saying this, I really try not to. I push to the point where you can tell that you can feel it, but not to a point where I'm going to hurt myself. However, it appears that I somehow did push a little too hard, because the last few weeks my left Achilles tendon has been sore. So I've been still working out, but modifying my workouts to deal with that. And the thing about pulled muscles is it takes so long for them to heal. It's so annoying. I think I could take you down a little bit, maybe. So if you see behind me, there's 2 pots right here with the pink flowers and the orange flowers. I may have got those today when I went out for some groceries. But I still am trying not to buy too many plants, because as you can tell, I have a jungle full already. I'm trying to love what I have and take care of what I have. So, all right, well, what else? I did my roots for you guys. So that's why my hair is done. Otherwise, like I said, like I've been in the garden. Oh, we've had like really hot weather, which a lot of people have had. So like 29, 30. I was going to check the temperature. I'm going to say it's still probably at least 26 or 27 right now. And I love it. Absolutely love it. But oh, right, with the temperature like this, I've been watering my plants in the garden because they're just like very thirsty because it's so hot and dry. And so yeah, my hair wouldn't normally be like this. It'd be up and fuzzed out. Like, I have a new phrase for my hair now, not when it's done like this, but when it's like fuzzed out, and it's just, I'm gonna say Einstein hair, and I don't care, because Steve, the other day, I was like fuzzed out, and he's like, oh, you're going out like that, and I'm like, yeah, Einstein hair, and I don't care. But then I wet it down so it didn't look so bad. But anyways, there's something else I was gonna say. Oh, Lisa, there are never enough plants. Ha ha ha. Cheryl Diamond Snyder says, I know, that's true. And well, the part of the problem is that because I was neglecting so many things, some of the things, like, you can't see in here per se, but this is all my, like I said, my bananas there, but my canna lilies are here. And then I have canna lilies. What's the other ones? Oh, calla lilies are over on that side. And, oh, I don't know if you can see the... Anyways, a lot of my plants are still healthy and good, but I don't have a lot of annuals, and the flowering is, like, there's a lot of green is what I'm trying to say, or just the bare plants. There is a little bit of flower here and here and here, but it's not the way it could be if I was on top of things. So it's hard to not want to just add some color to here and there, but I don't want to take on more than I can take care of, which is why I'm trying to minimize the garden too, because like I said, if I'm going to have hobbies in the winter time, like miniatures and stuff, and scrapbooking, then I need to make sure that I don't have too much to do for the whole year in the garden. And I'm still not caught up in everything just for being neglectful in the winter. So let's do books really quick. I unfortunately have used up my words. I only get, like, what is it, 200,000 words or something per month. And so I've used up my words on Speechify. So I can still listen to books on Speechify, but they're just in the, like, free robotic voices. And, but like I said before, I need to start not having my headphones on all the time and being in the garden like this. I need to just, like, you see the wind, but I need to feel the breeze and hear the waterfall and hear the birds, although the birds are kind of quiet now because they've already roosted. Hear the dog bark. That's not our dog, but Sasha is out here. She just went for a walk with Tom, so she comes outside to cool off before she goes in because she pants and drools. And but sometimes when the dogs bark across the train tracks or wherever, she'll bark at them. Okay, so I have, which one should I start with? So it was 2022 when Jackie and Steve brought me all those books that I went through and took pictures of. I told you, so most of them are spiritual books just because that's what they do. So one of the ones I listened to in the last week was Life Among the Dead by a medium from the United States called Lisa Williams. Oh, and Cheryl says, all those soothing nature sounds. Yes. Yes, but it's also, as you know, being spiritual as well. It's not just about the nature sounds. It's about being in the moment, being still, listening, connecting and with nature and spirit and all of it. Like, just, if I have a garden like this, I should be fully immersed in it, not in my headphones in another land, right? But anyways, speaking of being in my headphones in another land, Life Among the Dead by Lisa Williams, the story of how a British woman became one of the world's top psychics. What? Oh, sorry, Lisa Williams is, who was I just listening to from the States? I thought Lisa Williams, let me read the back. Anyways, here's the way the book looks. And I try to change the voices too, to, like, so if I'm reading a book from somebody who's from the US, then I'll put on a US voice, and if I'm listening to somebody from the UK, I'll put a UK voice, and if it's an older gentleman, I'll put that on, or, like, whatever. So when Lisa Williams was 4 years old, she told her parents about the spirits in her bedroom. Since those first experiences, Lisa has seen and communicated with thousands of people who have passed over, listening to their stories and delivering messages of comfort to the loved ones they have left behind. This extraordinary book tells the story of Lisa's childhood in Birmingham, where her grandmother, also a renowned psychic, encouraged her to respect and nurture her talent, to her decision to move to Los Angeles, where her hit television show, Life Among the Dead, quickly made her a national star. In her down-to-earth, compassionate style, she reveals exactly what it's like to live surrounded by spirits every day and describes her understanding of spiritual phenomena, hauntings, psychic healing, and afterlife. Born in Birmingham, Lisa Williams now divides her time between Redditch in Worcestershire, so Worcester, that's probably how they say it here, Worcester, and Los Angeles, where she has become a famous TV medium. The show has brought comfort and healing to people in the USA. I put my thumb over some of the writing. So, her gentle, compassionate style in delivering messages of great poignancy to the bereaved has earned her a committed following. What I liked about this book, now that I've read the thing, I remember it now. What I liked about it is how much history, like, it wasn't just your traditional, like, this is, well, so obviously a lot of the books that are in there are people's journeys, different mediums and stuff like that. But I liked that hers was like more of an autobiography as well. So if you like hearing people's stories, not just the spiritual part and everything, but just her life from the beginning and everything, and her grandma, and like I liked that part of it. I liked that it went through all the different chapters of her life, and it was really informative and interesting. She had like an interesting life, especially having a grandma who was into that kind of stuff at a time when others would have told you it was the devil's work, right? So yeah, I did enjoy that one actually. Now this one is very saucy. Yes, it was a good book, and it's different. I do tend not to read or listen to novels because I have enough of an imagination. I don't have like time necessarily. I like to learn and grow and everything else, so I don't necessarily have time to listen to storybooks. But sorry, I'm just petting the panting dog. Would you guys like to see her? Sasha, you can't walk away when I'm trying to show you off. Right, Sasha? Anyways, Mrs. Panting. Okay. So, all right, so this book is a novel, and it's called Marie Kerrigan. She's sorry, this was from my ring light when I took a picture of the book, but by Karen Elder. It's called Marie O'Kerrigan. The Red Curse. So there might be more in the series with her. I don't know. I like the picture of her, but she's from Ireland, so I might change that out to the nicer copy from the internet. But there's a lot of sex in this book, and I have been married and with Steve for 11 years. I'm not saying that we don't have our, but it's just not something I seek out in other places. So it's been a long time since I've read or, it was weird to be listening to that type of stuff in my ears. It was well done, but it was like, oh, interesting. So if you like that kind of stuff, it's not important to me to have that part in a series or in a book, but it still was really good. And I liked okay, let's see what it says about it. Maybe if I would have read the back, I would have known that before I listened to it. It says historical fiction fantasy. The historical heart of the novel, set in the 15th century Ireland, is framed through the fresh eyes of Kelly, an ordinary woman who runs a cafe in Bainbridge, County Down. Down to earth, deeply religious, the community turned to her in times of need. So that's it. It goes like back and forth from modern times with her cafe, and people come to see her, and she helps out with. Sorry if it said slow connection. Hopefully I'm back. So Kelly's in modern times. She people go to her for advice and everything else in her cafe and everything else. But she starts having these dreams, and they're in the 15th century. About a woman named Marie. When he starts to speak, recites names from her visions. Distressed, Kelly turns to a hypnotherapist, and all is revealed. Those she is close to today happen to be the souls that joined her in her life as Marie. She realizes she is here now in this life to give back to those who fought alongside her, that the love from her heart and her food is her thanks to them. sustaining those that once sustained. Is she delusional, or is it this reality? Long ago, a girl was born to rule a sept in Fermanagh. I don't know how to say that. Fermanagh, Ireland. Brought up with a sweet and delicate childhood, everything changed upon turning 12, whereupon her father gave her empowering gifts. Marie O'Carrigan, her beloved stallion, a tamed buzzard, her father's druid, and Ivan, a mountain of a man, embark on journeys into the other realms and combative challenges which forge her unbreakable resolve. Others join in Marie's cause in Armagh. They form an inviolable force of destruction and revenge. Their goal, to rid Ireland of the cruel and oppressive English earls. Marie leads her clansmen into revolt and shrinks the pale, even killing the father of her young child without guilt. All that cross Marie come to a dastardly end. She gains a notorious reputation and a respect by the British for never taking prisoners. After other skirmishes, a time of quiet arises over the land until an attempt to kill her supernatural animal companions is somewhat thwarted. The perpetrators get a grisly firestorm. Peace reigns. So yeah, she's a warrior, and she's feisty, and it was a really good book. It wasn't too long either, but interesting. Did I say that Cheryl Diamond Snyder said feeling it all? Like nature, garden, spirit, all that? I forgot. I don't know if I said that or not. And I have to read the comments out, because once these are deleted and I repost them or whatever, then no one will see the comments. Okay, so the two that I'm going to show you now are in those spiritual books that I took pictures of, but I kept the originals because they are some of my very, very, very favorite books. I showed you guys the other day the ones that I read on my walks when I dog walked years ago, and they were Heaven is a Real Place, I think, and I don't know, but they were both about the afterlife, and they were by a woman who lives in Spain now, and my brain's not working. But those two I loved as well, because since she was little, she lived in the afterlife. These ones are about the afterlife, but so those ones and then these ones are the most accurate to me from what I think the afterlife is like, and to what I've listened to and experienced myself and everything else. And the descriptions in these books are like none that I've ever, well, I mean, I've heard bits and bobs from different places, but to put it all together. So what this is, and it'll say on the back, but he's not a bishop, he's Monsignor Robert, is a former Archbishop of Canterbury. So after he dies, he realizes that growing up in the Catholic Church and stuff like that, or I don't know, he's Archbishop of Canterbury, is that, anyways, it's Christian, and he wrote a book while he was alive about his teachings and what, spreading the word. And after he died, he realized that what he had been preaching and spreading all this time hadn't been the accurate truth. So he really wanted to come back to tell people here to correct his mistake in the book that he wrote. And they told him eventually he'd be able to do it. So I think it's like 30 or 40 years before he's able to communicate through a medium who wrote these books. And so the person who wrote the story down from the Archbishop, his name is Anthony Borgia. And there's two books, and I cannot tell you. If you want to know what the afterlife is like, you don't have to believe it, but if you want an interpretation of it that I think is probably really accurate to the different spheres, the higher spheres that we try to attain. So say there's like a level sphere where most of us go when we die, where it's like this earth, but no war, no pain, no heartbreak, like just a nice heavenly summerlands, right? But then there's the lower, not hell, but the lower realms, where, because we create our own hell. So if somebody feels sorry for themselves for things in their life and stays in their house all the time and just feels sorry for themselves every day and pities themselves and everything else in a negative way, then they're creating their own hell. No one's making them do that, and there is ways to get out of that, but they have to do it for themselves, right? So it's the same thing with the spheres. So if there's the main, the main one or whatever, and then the lower ones are where you have to learn to grow, right? And then we want to obtain. So even if me and my best friend are really, really alike in this lifetime, we might actually be different. Well, usually if you're in a cluster, you tend to be on the same level, but we might not be. So say we both die, and I'm on the main level, and my best friend goes to another realm above me. So because nobody's better than anybody else, but she's just more advanced spiritually. She's learned more lessons, grown more, and everything else. Now the higher levels, those people can come down to visit. I say people, but spirits. They can come down to the lower levels to visit and everything else, and even the people on the main level can go to the lower levels to try and help them, to show them that there's a way out. So if the person was feeling sorry for themselves in their house, and you wanted to go and make them a tea and sit with them and just try and help them out of their situation. Again, they have to help themselves, but you can do that. So going to the lower levels. Anyways, this is like, I absolutely love, I can't tell you how much I love these. And the fact that, like I said, it's even really, there's a even better, I mean, you could see that his role on earth when he was alive as an archbishop was definitely to help people. And even in the afterlife, he's still helping people. So there is a reason that we have the lives that we have. But the first one is called Life in the World Unseen, with a foreword by Sir John Anderton Bart. Now, I don't know. And the second one is more about life in the world unseen. Anthony Borgia. And these might be from the 80s. And I looked online, and they are still available, like copies of them. So I think I looked up this. Yeah, this isn't the first edition, but first published in 1954. This edition is 1978, so from the 50s. And that's the cool thing too, like the ones I said that I told you about that I loved, those ones are from the lady in Spain, and they're from not very long ago, in the last decade or whatever, right? These ones are from the 50s. It's just so crazy and cool. So let me see. So Life in the World Unseen. The first, it says, by Anthony Borgia, with a foreword by Sir John Anderton Bart. There can be few people who have not at times wondered what happens after death. Most of us have preconceived ideas of heaven and hell, but for conventional ideas upon so important a subject, we must turn to other and more defiant sources. Many years ago, Monsignor Robert Hugh Benson, son of a former Archbishop of Canterbury, son of an Archbishop, wrote a book called The Necromancers. Necromancy, that has to do with the death. I wanted to see the book to see what he felt was so sorry, it says slow connection. So what he thought was so bad about it or wrong. Anyways, The Necromancers. It achieved considerable fame, but gave a distorted view of spiritual communication. In his preface to Life in the World Unseen, Anthony Borgia explains that on passing into the spirit world, Monsignor Benson found that the views he had expressed in his book were substantially incorrect. One of his main aims in his new sphere of life was to seek to correct the wrong impression he had given in his earthly writings. For that very reason, he communicated with Anthony Borgia, who has faithfully recorded his messages. His great desire in preparing these messages is to try to remove from people's minds the fear of death by recounting his own experiences and imparting his own knowledge of the spirit world. The result is a picture of a life in the world beyond, related in considerable detail. I can't even tell you how great it is. Even if you don't believe in all this stuff, it's read it like it's a fantasy world, but it's really, I love it. I really love these books. And like I said, this is the second time for me to go back and I would listen to them over and over again. The second one, more about the life in the world unseen. The assertion that dead men tell no tales has long been proved untrue. Countless so-called dead men, with women and children too, have persistently shown themselves to be very much alive by returning to Earth to say so. Most of them state the fact, so important both to themselves and to incarnate humanity, in terms that leave no doubt of their strong disapproval that they should be considered as anything but alive. Monsignor Robert Hugh Benson, son of a former Archbishop of Canterbury, is one of the many who have returned to Earth to deny that they are dead. This being so, it is but natural that he should wish to give some account of the life that he and millions of others are living in the spirit world. In his previous volume, Life in the World Unseen, Monsignor Benson gave an account of his early days in the spirit world. In this, his latest script, he carries on the story and deals with other important and interesting features of spirit life. As in the previous book, Monsignor Benson has communicated with Anthony Borgia, who has all along acted as his scribe. Through other sources of communication, he has not only been able to verify the substance and content of the scripts, but they have both enjoyed literally hundreds of foregatherings where Monsignor Benson has brought with him a goodly company of spirit friends who all express unqualified delight upon their ability to return to Earth in such a natural and pleasant way, to perpetuate old friendships and to form new ones. To those who still wonder of what kind and description is the life to come, and to those who already know a little and wish to know more, this book will prove of interest and value. What is most important, it should help to banish from people's minds that dreadful heirloom, the fear of death. Really, 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 really good. And there's something I was going to say about him coming back. Oh, the other thing about it is that, like, that's, again, it's his, and he'll say this in it, this is where he went when he passed, and which sphere and realm he's in, and how it, like, it can be different for different people. It's kind of like what you expect it to be like, it can be like. So if you're expecting it to be dark and dingy, it can be dark and dingy because you create it with your own mind and stuff. Okay, so I talked about a book by Sarah Robinson before, a couple of weeks ago. I have the dog right here. Ew, Sash, you're drooling on my leg. Yeah, oh yeah, that was it. The Kitchen Witch, Food, Folklore, and Fairy Tale. And it has the synopsis in here for it as well. And for that one, and I told you guys there was no recipes in it, but I'll just tell you what it said again. Welcome to a place of great magic, the kitchen. Magic, superstition, cooking, and food rituals have been intertwined since the beginning of humankind. Kitchen Witch, Food, Folklore, and Fairy Tale is an exploration of the history and culture of food, folklore, and magic, and those skilled in healing and nourishing, herbalists, wise women, cooks, cunning folk, and the name many of them would come to bear, witch. Kitchen Witch is an invitation to see the magic in every corner of your kitchen. With the Kitchen Witch as our guide, we'll explore food, nature, magic, and transformation. We'll discover what the name of Kitchen Witch could mean to us in modern interpretations of ancient practices. May this book of stories and ideas show that there's magic in the mundane, witchcraft within your walls, and the goddess really is in the details. Within this book, you'll find no recipes, but something cooked up just for you. You'll find stories of magic, healing, and hearth, of feasts and fasts and fairy tales, of poisoned apples, bewitching gingerbread, and seeing the future in a teacup. So, I told you guys that I had this one from her, and I listened to it, and I left it on my phone because I want to listen to it again and again and again, because there's a lot that I need to learn from this book, combining two things that I'm interested in. It's called Yoga for Witches. Again, by Sarah Robinson, and I'm going to read you the synopsis for this one. It says, find your magic on the mat. Yoga for Witches explores a new kind of journey connecting two powerful spiritual disciplines with enchanting effects. Witchcraft and yoga share many similarities that are explored in combination in this groundbreaking new title from Sarah Robinson, certified yoga instructor and experienced witch. Yoga for Witches shares exercises, poses, and the knowledge you need to connect to your own special magic and inner power. Explore how ancient yogis sought out magic, weave magic through spells, mantra, meditation, and yoga practice. Discover some of the goddesses and gods of yogic and witch culture. Connect to the power of the sun, moon, and earth via witchcraft and yoga. explore the magic of the chakras. Sarah Robinson is a yoga and meditation teacher based in Bath, UK. Bath. Bath, UK. It's spelled Bath, but her background is in science. She holds an MSc in psychology and neuroscience and has studied at Bath, Exeter, and Harvard universities. Yoga for Witches is a treat for yoginis and witches alike. Uma Dismore-Tuli, PhD, author of Yoni Shakti. That's the quote at the bottom from her. Yeah, so I really like that one. It's still on my phone. And then this is the one that I'm not finished right now. It's a big fatty, and it's huge, but it's good, and doesn't even have chapters. It's like a diary, so it just keeps going and going and going. I could finish listening to it, but again, I've like ran out of my words, so it's only like a robotic voice right now. But I also ran out of time anyways, even if I wanted to continue listening to it to finish it today. I did just start it yesterday, but that's how much of a listener I am. But this is a good one, and again, it deals with the afterlife and her experiences in it. Although in the afterlife, like, she just meets her sons, like, basically, say, at like a picnic table. I don't know if she's described what the table actually looks like, but they tend to eat lychee berries and just sit and talk. But anyways, this is like sad but beautiful at the same time, and it's about grief, and it's like, it's got a lot in it. And the truth is, this is one woman's experience of her grief and trauma and getting through it. And again, even if you don't believe in the spiritual side of it, when you go through something like she did, you're going to latch on to anything you can just to survive. And it's beautiful. So it's called Journey to the Upper Realm. Oh, I should look more. And it's how I survived the deaths of my sons and learned to communicate with them on the other side. Maria I.P.E.P. So, her ex-husband shot her 13 and 15-year-old sons and then shot himself. So she went from being a mother with an ex-husband and 2 beautiful sons to, a mother of children who had been taken to the next world. And yeah, I don't think any of us want to know what that's like to go through. So let me read the synopsis on the back. When everything you thought was real, everything you cared about, loved and valued is stripped away from you, what is left? Your true essence, who you truly are, all that matters, all that is. Your wholeness, your truth, your perfection, oneness connected to the source. On June 21st, 2011, Maria P. I don't know how to say P.E. Is it Fee? P? I'm just going to say P. If that's wrong, I'm sorry. Maria P. experienced the unimaginable, the murder of her 2 teenage sons, Sean and Kyle, by their own father. In her struggle to survive the overwhelming loss, Maria embarks on a profound spiritual journey to find her sons and continue her relationship with them. Well educated and trained as an attorney, Maria was skeptical, but she began learning everything she could about the afterlife and meditating and keeping a journal, starting with simple meditations and opening herself to the possibilities of existence beyond the physical body. Maria learns how to connect with Sean and Kyle through her journeys to the upper realm. With her sons' help and encouragement, Maria not only survives her tragic experience, but learns how to embrace life on earth again. By sharing her experiences day by day, Maria shows us that we all have the ability to communicate with loved ones on the other side and to learn and receive guidance from them. And through her story, Maria shows us that from unbearable pain and loss can come self-discovery and the strength and courage to continue life's journey. There's a reason that her sons were taken and she wasn't, and they tell her that over and over, that you have work to do, Mom. You'll see us sooner than you know, because time over there is like a blink. And like I said, it's devastating, and that's how it started, basically. Do you remember how I told you guys about the afterlife of Billy Fingers? Although she wasn't keeping a journal, it was her brother. Like, she woke up to the messages and he said to write this down, and that's how she started writing things down. Well, in this one, she was started a journal, which she never did in her life, but after her sons were taken, she decided to do journaling as part of like her therapy experience. And then, so then when she started to do little meditations, even sitting quietly for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, she would write down anything she experienced, like even if it was just sparkles and lights or an apple moving past, like whatever you, and but I like how she would write down like everything she heard, smelt, seen, everything. So she would write down like I don't know if maybe she recorded it on like a handheld recorder or whatever, because she would say like dog barking, or I heard a dog barking, car going by, I hear music in the distance, like, so she would interpret, like she would say what she got in her mind, but also what was happening in real life as well. So that was really interesting. And like, look how big this sucker is. It's like a textbook. But yeah, I'm probably 3/4 of the, or like that much maybe. Can't remember exactly what page I'm on, but yeah, that's our last one for this week, because that's a big one. So I don't know if you guys can see her in the image, but Cheryl says, some fascinating books, Lisa. Thanks, Cheryl. I didn't know if anybody was still watching because I know that I can ramble on, and if not everybody's interested in the books. And I don't know if you guys can see the dog, but she's right here, and I'm petting her. So, you good girl? You good girl? Yeah, she's still got her tongue out. She's not drooling as much anymore, but yes, Cheryl, they are fascinating books. They are, and I'm glad that like it would be annoying if I told you guys about books that you had no access to, that weren't available. But I also said, like, you know, if you don't have the money to buy these books, there's libraries, obviously, and there might be like share groups or something where, you know, people have book titles and they'll lend you one for one of yours or something. I don't know. If you have friends that are into this kind of stuff, they might even have some of these titles as well. But definitely a good read. And I don't even know where I could be listening to a podcast and maybe they were interviewing her on it, or I could be I don't know. There's all these different places that I find these books, and then I look the book up, I take a screenshot, leave it on my phone, and eventually if I order it or whatever, so I don't even know where I heard about like her book specifically, and but I'm really enjoying it. I was nervous about it because it was so thick, but I do like people's journals. Like anybody who wants to let me read their journals, for sure. And yeah, I like journaling, and I like reading journals. It's just fascinating. That's why I said like the other one about the Lisa Williams one, just life stories, like autobiographies and stuff. It's just interesting how people have like such different lives and stuff. So I'm just gonna have a sip of my water for my friend Zena. See, okay, yes, I have to keep drinking it. There's still lots in there, but I am drinking my water. How many times do I do that? I tip it up, like I need to tip it up to drink, but it has a straw in it. So now I did the because I tipped it up, I made the air in the straw or whatever. It's not. Let's see if that works better. Not making noise now. Oh, Cheryl says, have you read The Afterlife of Billy Fingers? Yes, I have. I own it. I recommend it. It is amazing, and especially with my brother dying in April and his name being Billy, I've actually got a copy of it for my sisters to read, and my little sister has read it, or has read part of it so far. Older sister hasn't read it yet, but I absolutely recommend The Afterlife of Billy Fingers. I think it's a good, gentle way of bringing people into this, and actually my friend Zena has read it now too, and it's not too long of a read. I don't think it's so overwhelming, whereas some other books might be too much when people are just starting on this journey. So yeah, I really like The Afterlife of Billy Fingers, especially when it's, Cheryl says, amazing book. Yeah, especially when it's someone who wasn't into this kind of stuff and it just happened naturally like that with her brother. So yeah, I really like that book. Drop my water. What else can we talk about? Because it's been so hot, I have not been in the kitchen cooking, nor has Steve. Luckily, this is the time that frozen portion meals that we made come in handy. Also, he went to Costco a couple days ago on Friday, and he brought me pizza, even though I'm not supposed to be eating it. But, yeah, so I've had Costco pizza. Today, I call them my my Russian roulette like meals. Like, so they've been in the freezer for a long time, to the point where the labels have either fallen off or I didn't label them or whatever. So that I know that they're good, besides their age. And I know that, like, I don't like wasting. So if I warm it up in the microwave and it tastes bad or something, then I'll get rid of it. But I don't know what they are exactly from looking at them. So I think most of the ones I have left now are probably chicken stew or beef stew. But yeah, I just warm it up in the microwave and I'm playing Russian roulette with my food. Because Steve, because of his allergy to peppers, he has to be very careful. I don't think any of the things have peppers in them, but that's what I'll be having for my, I know it's late and I should have had dinner before my live, but I didn't. So I still have to do my shred, my workout, and then, what I don't remember, eat. That's right. That's what I was saying. So, and you can't tell behind me, I cut some of the borash out, and borash, and the poppies. I had like so many poppies this year, so I'm thinking about them in my head too, because I took, like, I cut a bunch of them and I turned them upside down in a bucket to like shake the seeds out, but they're like all stuck upside down to, because some of them haven't like opened yet. So when they open, like, I'll shake all the seeds out and stuff, because I want to collect all the poppy seeds for people who wanted some of them. But I was thinking of doing that tonight, is my point of why I'm talking about that, is because I thought about, besides my workout and stuff, because Steve's out with his mates for cards, that I might do that. We'll see. I might just play on my phone or watch TV or go to sleep early. I don't know. Coming up this week, painting class, babysitting our grandson, visiting with my friend Zena. What else is there this week? I would have to look at my schedule. So tomorrow's July 14th already. We're halfway through July. And that's the other thing with my garden, is that if I was on top of things, I would have started like my dahlias and my cannas and stuff in the greenhouse earlier. And then by the time I got them into the ground, or even stuck them in the ground with a polytunnel over them or something. But I didn't. So where this time in July, some of your things should be like at their fullest and showing off, especially like in Canadian prairies, like where you only get July and August really, that, you know, this is the time to like enjoy your garden and show off. Whereas I'm still like trying to catch up on a lot of work and everything else. So Cheryl says, your poppies have been so beautiful. Thank you. Yes, they have. And there's so many different ones. Again, well, you can kind of see, like, is it that one right there? There's a pink one, and then further back there's a red one. But sorry, I thought I saw something like a bird or cat or something behind me. But yeah, lots of the ones that were here I've cut down already. But no, I don't know if you can see, but all this right here, there's lots of poppies in there that haven't flowered yet. They're not as big as the big ones that I've cut down, but it's giving them room to flower now too. So yeah, that's something that I need to do. I'm just loving my hair, even though, like I said, I rarely do my hair, and like how long it is, the colors in it, even though like I don't do different colors, I dye it the same color, but because this is like more white hair and this is more of my natural color, it just does that. Yeah, so sorry, petting the doggy. She's a needy dog. She just wants love all the time. You coming up? Come on. What? Yes. Yes. She's a good girl. It says she's a good girl. Yes. You're a needy dog though, right? You need love all the time. Yeah. All the time. It's hard to get anything done when she's around. Luckily, unlike my other dogs and cats in the past, I can do my workout with her even in the room. She might still mither me, but she doesn't. Mither means bug. But she doesn't lie on my mat like other dogs have in the past, or, you know, doesn't totally get in my way. But it has been a beautiful day. I've been outside mostly just watering plants in the front garden. There's so much to do in here, but like I said, days like this when it's really hot, I just have to keep up with the watering because I have so many things in pots. But there's still so much to do in the garden. Oh yes, yesterday I finished, and the day before that, even though it's like the hottest days, I was what Steve would say is grafting, like working really hard. We cut down a cherry laurel tree a few months ago, and it was on the side of the house, and we're putting in, like, from our kitchen where we're going to do an extension. So the one window that we didn't replace is going to become a doorway, and it's going to go into the utility room and pantry and stuff. But until we do that, we're putting in, like, so it would be an indoor door because it would go into another room. But right now we're just opening that up and putting a outdoor door so we can let the dogs out from the kitchen instead of the patio doors, because if we get our floors done in the living room, we don't want the dogs, we don't want that to be the high traffic area. So we're putting in a door there. So anyways, the cherry laurel tree that we cut down, all the branches and everything else were on the side of the house there where we're putting the door in. So I cut, and it wasn't the cherry laurel that was the problem. It was that a wisteria, our wisteria grew up into the cherry laurel and everything. So if it was just the cherry laurel, I could have put it into the, wood shredder, like we have a, you know, where you put the branches in and it shreds it into wood chips. But the wisteria is a vine, and it was all viney, and then you can't really put it into the wood chipper because it just wraps around the blades, and it was, so I had to cut it into manageable pieces, and I put it in these huge landscaping bags, and there's 3 of them, and I'm going to drag them over the lawn and bring them here to my fire pit. But I don't want to bring them too close because I don't want them to light on fire while I'm burning stuff. But with the weather that we've been having, I haven't been able to. First of all, it was way too hot to burn. So who would want to have a hot fire on a plus 30 degrees Celsius day? But also, if we don't have rain, then I'm not going to be burning things because I'm not one that's going to start any, you know, wildfires or anything, even here in England. So yes, lots to do, but I did work. Things are happening in the garden, in the house. We got a brand new dining room table and chairs. Steve's like, oh, I know that, because as soon as we got it, I covered the table with like a mat so that it doesn't get wrecked, and then a tablecloth, and then the plastic tablecloth, like a clear tablecloth. And Thomas was saying, like, oh, that was a nice table that we saw for 2 minutes. And then Steve's like, oh, I know it'll be uncovered on Sunday because Lisa will probably be doing her live to show everybody. And I said no. But the chairs are awesome. They remind me of thrones. And the table is really nice, but I don't trust me or our family, so I don't want it wrecked. But eventually I'll add pictures on Facebook, and also it's in our dining room. So, you know, with any pictures I put, or if you guys are going to see it. Sorry, disconnected there. What else has been happening in life? I'm getting excited again for seeing my sister and her husband and the kids, and my mom in Ireland next month, and then my mom coming back here. That's what I want to do in the autumn, if my mom's up for it, is like preserving, like canning, making preserves, like pickled things and such. So we'll see how that goes. I'll get my jars ready if she's in the mood for it. So that, I mean, my mom has done that kind of stuff, canning and jarring and stuff, like my whole life. And so I understand the concept. I know how to do it, but I never really did it myself. And making the brines and everything else. So it would be nice to learn with my mommy. Maybe even get the girls if they want to. I mean, Tom and the other kids can do it too if they want, but we could all learn, and then we'll have those skills and we'll learn it from my mom. And then I can grow things in the garden to preserve, and when we have our pantry, I can actually have things in it that we've, you know, grown and preserved, because I'm lucky enough to have this huge, the amount of space I have in these raised beds, and I had to put them on as raised beds because it's hardcore underneath here, because it's part of the train tracks, and it used to be like a park, what do you call it, like a car park, like a train, no, not a train yard, a truck, like, anyways, park. It's hardcore, so it's like gravel and everything else, like it's not dirt. And I don't even know how far, if we lifted that, how far to get to actual earth and dirt. So we just made raised beds with proper dirt in it and everything else. And but the amount of space I have just over here in these raised beds is, people in England would be on waiting lists for allotments for years just to have this much space to grow things, let alone the rest of the garden space that we have. So I'm very blessed, and I don't take that for granted. I just want to enjoy summer while it's here. Oh, I plunged in the plunge pool, not yesterday, but the day before, when I was too hot working and everything else. The water's colder than I was expecting, but still nice. I took a video of myself doing it, but I should do that more. Like I should have today, but I was working out in the front and stuff in this. So I do want to enjoy, you know, if I'm not doing it on the days when it's these temperatures, then when am I going to do it, right? So plunging in the plunge pool. Sasha, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. Huh? Your daddy never came back to let you in. Yeah, so what's new with you guys? I know, I need to have guests. I need to do things. There's plans. I have plans to have guests and everything else. Cheryl says, you are blessed and you show your gratitude often. Thanks, Cheryl. I try to, because you never know when things can be gone like that and it can all be taken away. So I don't want to take a day for granted of the things that I have and how lucky I am, because I didn't always have, you know, this. And again, like, life can change where I might not have this. So while I have it, I'm going to make the best of it. So I think if most of us look at what we have, most of us are blessed. And we really should look at the things that we have instead of thinking about the things that we don't have. So, what else? Oh, I mowed the lawn yesterday, and I did my yoga outside on the lawn. So that was nice. Oh, yesterday, like, I don't do yoga on weekends usually, but on Friday I was just so hot and tired and my back was really sore from doing the tree on the side that I postponed my Friday yoga to Saturday. So I still got it done, my 5 days of yoga for the week, but that's why I did my yoga yesterday. Today it's just the shred, so, which I'm going to be getting to soon because we're almost at the hour. Let me think, is there anything else that I was going to tell you guys? I can't remember. I can't remember. So, hi, Sash. Yeah, you're back again? Hi. Hello. See, even talking about the blessings, like, this is my little scoochy little hairy granddaughter, right? And we don't have our own dog, but we have Tom's Sasha. So when he's not, well, he is here right now, but like, because she's outside. But I watch Sasha during the day. And when Tom goes away or she's not here, I do miss her, even though she's so needy. But she's so soft and she's such a lovely girl, right? Yes, you are. Cheryl says, sweetest dog. Yeah, she's a good girl. Yes, she's a good girl. Yes, you are. You're a good girl, right? Yeah? I know. What else is... Oh, I left the waterfall on last night. And at like 3 in the morning, Steve went to the bathroom and came back in our room and the bathroom window was open. And he's like, he said, did you leave the waterfall on? I'm like, oh yeah, I did. He's like, yeah, I can hear it from the bathroom. So it's like quite loud, especially when it's quiet at night. And because there's the apartment buildings behind our house, it just echoes in there. So he's like, yeah, the neighbors probably really enjoyed that. So I went and shut it off at 3 in the morning. So we might put it on a timer so that even if I don't put it on, I don't put it on. But if I do put it on and I forget, that it shuts off at a certain time, like, you know, now 9 or 10 or something. But well, little Sashi, should we go in and do our workout? Yeah. Yeah, I will be honest, I have been eating healthier, but I still need to work on my portion sizes. And what I also need to work on is not, when Thomas goes to the shop and says, I'm going to Lidl, what would you like? And I say a toffee yum yum, because they only have them at Lidl. Those are like a twisted donut with toffee yum yum inside. They're so yummy. And, or, you know, like Costco pizza, or just all these little things, like a Kit Kat bar, or whatever. Those are the things that I gotta really, like, watch what I'm doing. you know, like all those little snacks that you think are just small and stuff, the calories do count and add up. And if I'm putting in the work, then I don't want to counterbalance it by eating a bunch of crap and then all the work is not for nothing, but you know what I mean. So yeah, so watch me on my journey. And what else is there? July, guys, just enjoy the summer. It's hot. Take care of yourself. Make sure you're staying hydrated, sunscreened, stay in the shade if you can, don't get sunstroke. And listen, even if you're indoors, if you don't have air conditioning and stuff, give yourself a cool shower. Get a bucket of cool water and stick your feet in it. Cooling down your feet cools your whole body down. Like, just be smart about it. Don't care if you're lying in your tub with, like a bit of cold water or something just to keep your temperature down. Whatever you need to do to get through the hot days, especially if you don't have a basement or air conditioning or something to keep you cool. All right. Yeah. Cheryl says sizzling here too. Yeah, I know it is in lots of places. So be smart about it. Don't give yourself sunstroke. All right. Oh yes. Okay. Come on up. Hi. That's what I noticed about me jumping in the plunge pool, is how white my legs were. So I have them out in the sun. Like, I don't need to tan, but it would be nice if they like maybe matched my face and my arms a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, but they looked really white going into the plunge pool. I think Sasha wants to go, but I'll just, I try to make it the rambling hour. Okay, come on. 57 minutes. We got 3 minutes. So what else can I tell you? You guys remember when, we need to get back to the death planning. And I know I've been thinking about that too, just listening to these books, thinking about my brother passing away. Me and Steve need to do our wills, the death planning questions. People who are not dealing with my brother's death well. I'm not saying I'm 100% because it hurts. It really hurts. And if I, who believe in an afterlife, study this stuff, speak to people who are on the other side and all this stuff, if I'm still having trouble with it, then people who don't necessarily believe in this stuff, there's the grief, so finding ways to deal with this when it happens, but even preparing yourself before it happens so that when it happens, you aren't so thrown off, because it really, really hurts. And it just, it comes in waves. But yeah, so we need to talk about that stuff again and plan that. And like I said, me and Steve need to do our wills, because you can't be arrogant or ignorant and think, oh, it's not going to happen to us, because we don't know who's next. That's the point. We don't know who's next. So we need to plan. I love this saying, and I don't know who the, Sasha, just wait, who the quote was from originally, but it's plan for tomorrow, live for today. So that's what we need to do. Plan for tomorrow like you're going to be here for years and years and years, but live for today. So don't forget to enjoy the day that you have, because we don't know when it's going to be our last. All right, that seems about good. Sounds like I said a few smart things maybe in this episode. I don't know. I'm disappointed that Facebook has deleted all my lives. I need to upload them, and I will get to that as well. And yeah, so it's sad that you guys can't go back and watch my old ones right now, but I'll try and do it as soon as I can to get them all back up there, especially some of the ones that if I'm referencing them or something. So I love you guys, and thanks for tuning in. Oh, I'm falling back onto my stool. Thanks for tuning in, whether right now live or later. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. All right, enjoy the summer and see you then. Love you guys. Bye.